Leo, my friend, what if the very thing you've been sensing lately, the strange tension in the air, the unease in your chest, is not paranoia, but preparation? What if the whispers of your intuition were never just noise, but warnings that something hidden is about to erupt? Let me be direct from the start. This video exists because something is coming. And it's big. The police are investigating a secret within your family, and an arrest, whether you're directly involved or not, is going to shake the foundation of your life. But don't walk away. Don't fear the tremble. Because what's coming isn't punishment, it's liberation. It's truth. It's alignment. You felt it, haven't you? The feeling that something's off. That a smile isn't sincere. That there's a conversation happening without you but about you. That no matter how much you try to stay grounded, your body has already started preparing for impact. That isn't just stress. It's your inner compass pulling you toward clarity. And believe me when I say, if you're here right now, it's because you were meant to be. There are no accidents in timing. The universe doesn't do coincidence. It does design. Welcome to Eternal Mindfulness. Here, we don't just read horoscopes. We decode sacred timing. We listen to soul language. We heal what's buried. We shine a light where others only sense darkness. In this space, astrology, tarot, divine energy, numerology, and the law of attraction converge to show you the path forward, not just spiritually, but practically. This is more than a reading. This is a moment of realignment. A call to rise into the version of yourself who no longer makes peace with pretense. Who no longer tolerates being silenced, even by love. Who no longer explains away red flags in the name of keeping peace. Because peace built on silence isn't peace, it's pressure. And pressure always bursts eventually. So, before we go any deeper, let me say this from my heart: thank you for showing up. For being here, with me. Every like, every comment, every share, every subscription, it matters. It's not just support for this channel. It's a declaration to the universe that you're ready. Ready to see. Ready to heal. Ready to grow into the space that's been waiting for you all along. If you've made it this far, I want you to take a breath and answer this honestly. What pulled you here today? Was it curiosity or confirmation? Was it fear or the quiet hope that maybe, just maybe, you're not crazy for feeling what you feel? Whatever brought you here, know this: you're not alone. This space was created for you. So stay with me. Because by the end of this video, we're not just going to talk about what's collapsing, we're going to talk about what's about to rise from the ruins. And if something in your chest is nodding yes, if your body already knows you're exactly where you need to be, go ahead and leave a comment below that says, I claim the truth, release the false, and step fully into what was always meant for me. That simple declaration, it opens doors you cannot yet imagine. Let's begin. You know that feeling when someone smiles at you, but something underneath that smile feels off. It's subtle, hard to explain, but your body picks up on it anyway. Maybe you feel it in your throat, a tightness that shows up for no reason. Or your sleep becomes restless, even when your days aren't particularly stressful. Maybe you start second-guessing yourself, wondering if you're just being sensitive. But you're not. These aren't random signals. They are real, intelligent responses from your inner compass, your intuition whispering to you before the world catches up. And here's the thing, Leo, your intuition has always been loud, even when you've tried to quiet it down. Astrologically, that makes sense. Right now, the Sun, your ruling planet, is approaching a square with Pluto, the planet of transformation and exposure. This is no small transit. This is cosmic pressure at its finest. And like all pressure, it builds until it can no longer be ignored. So if you've been feeling like something hidden is about to surface, you're not imagining it. You're simply ahead of the curve. That's what this kind of energy does. It wakes up the parts of you that are designed to perceive what others overlook. It may not come with facts or proof right away, but it comes with a sense, a knowing. And often, that's the first light to break through a long, heavy fog. This is the time when shadows begin to move, when truths that were locked away perhaps in your family, your relationships, your own heart begin to demand to be seen. The discomfort you're feeling isn't just personal. It's part of a collective unraveling. When Pluto touches the Sun, something is always stripped away. Not to punish you, but to show you what has been standing in the way of your clarity. And here's the deeper truth most people miss. Intuition isn't some mystical trait you have to earn. It's a language you've always known, but life often teaches us to ignore it. Society praises logic, celebrates evidence, and dismisses what can't be explained. But your body remembers. Your soul remembers. You were never supposed to live disconnected from the voice inside you. This moment, it's not about discovering your intuition. It's about returning to it. I've seen it so many times in my work, clients who knew the truth months, even years, before it showed up in reality. They felt it in their skin, in their relationships, in their appetite, in their avoidance. And they spent so much energy trying to rationalize away what they already knew. That exhaustion. That's what happens when we fight our own knowing. But when we stop resisting, when we pause and say, okay, something is off and I don't have to explain why, everything begins to shift. You begin to move differently. You start observing instead of absorbing. You begin to trust your timing instead of rushing your clarity. That is the invitation for you now. Not to panic. Not to confront. But to notice. To acknowledge the wisdom already alive in your chest. You don't need all the answers yet. You just need to stop betraying the quiet voice that's been trying to get your attention. Real faith isn't about blind hope. It's about knowing there's a deeper current guiding you even when things look still. Like seeds growing under frozen soil, something is stirring. Something is preparing to break through. And your only job is to stay present enough to feel it when it does. This is the spiritual work of being Leo, not just standing in the light, but learning to sense where the light wants to go next. Trust the nudge. Honor the tension. Listen to what your body's been trying to say. You're not imagining this moment. You've been preparing for it all along. Sometimes what breaks is not the thing that hurts us, but the illusion that kept us holding on to what no longer serves us. When the Tower card shows up, especially in a reading like this, under the powerful cosmic pressure of Leo's Sun squaring Pluto, it's not here to curse your path. It's here to reveal what's already been crumbling behind the curtain. It doesn't destroy your life. It removes what's been silently draining it. And yes, Leo, this might involve people close to you. Family. Someone you trusted. Something long buried now finding its way to the surface through unexpected circumstances, maybe even through legal intervention. It might feel like chaos at first. Shocking. Out of your hands. But don't confuse movement with destruction. What's happening isn't the beginning of the end. It's the long overdue collapse of a structure that was never built to hold your truth. Astrologically, Pluto demands exposure. And when it pressures the sun, your ruler, it doesn't just call out falsehood in the world around you, it calls it out within you, too. That's why things may feel tense, unsettled, emotional. You're not just reacting to what's happening externally. You're responding to something deeper, the part of you that knew. That's been watching. That's been waiting for the truth to rise, even when you weren't ready to speak it. There's something healing, oddly sacred, about the breakdown. Especially when it's not caused by you but for you. Because let's be honest. You've been holding it together for a long time. Carrying the weight of unspoken tensions. Smiling through discomfort. Choosing peace when it was only silence. Now, for the first time in a long time, you're not the one fixing things, you're the one being freed. In energy work, we say, when something is built on alignment, it will withstand time. But when something is built on fear, secrecy, or control, it will eventually collapse under its own weight. That's what the tower represents. It's the removal of what isn't rooted in truth, even if it looks stable on the outside. Like a tree rotted from the inside, the fall isn't punishment. It's nature's way of making room for something new to grow. Here's what matters most: you are not the one falling. You are the one being released. You might not have all the answers yet. You may still be in shock. But the universe is asking for your trust, not your perfection. You're being handed a clean slate, and though it comes through disruption, it also comes with clarity. You're getting your voice back. Your boundaries back. Your peace back. That's not loss. That's return. During times like this, color becomes more than an aesthetic, it becomes an anchor. That's why I recommend working with ruby red and cobalt blue during this phase. These aren't just lucky colors. They support the energy of strength and truth. Red grounds your root chakra, reminding you that you are safe, even when life shakes. Blue calms your throat chakra, so your voice can rise from a place of steadiness, not fear. Use these colors with intention, whether in your clothes, your surroundings, or even a candle lit at night as a quiet declaration: I will not lose myself in the noise. I will stand in what is real. And if this feels like too much, if part of you wants to go back to how things were, pause. Breathe. Remember this: the truth never ruins what's meant to stay. It only clears the space of what was never truly yours to begin with. So no, you're not falling apart. You're falling free. And what's on the other side of this moment isn't a void, it's your life, uncluttered, finally ready to be lived with both feet planted, and no more pretending. That's what this tower has come to give you. Not a collapse. A release. A beginning. There's something sacred about finally using your voice, not to defend yourself, not to explain away someone else's choices, but simply to stand in who you are. You see, Leo, the Seven of Swords doesn't just speak of betrayal. It speaks of silence. The kind of silence that creeps in slowly, disguised as keeping the peace. The kind of silence that lets others take your time, your energy, your presence because you didn't want to create conflict. That kind of silence becomes a habit, and habits can become prisons. But the walls are coming down now, not because someone granted you permission to speak, but because you've outgrown the space where you had to stay quiet to be safe. What used to feel like protection now feels like suppression. And that's the shift. That's the part no one talks about, the moment when you realize that being the strong one doesn't mean absorbing everything in silence. It means drawing the line, calmly, without apology. Astrologically, this is a powerful time for you. The echoes of the sun's tension with Pluto haven't just shaken structures in your life, they've shaken roles. And one of the roles you've been playing for too long is the one who holds it all together. But what if the truth is, you're not here to hold it all together? You're here to hold yourself, your center, your truth, your dignity, and let others learn how to hold themselves. In numerology, the number 8 surrounds you now. This isn't just a coincidence. 8 is the number of karmic justice, of energetic balance, of personal power that doesn't shout but simply exists. It's the strength that comes after the struggle, not to fight harder, but to choose differently. When 8 shows up repeatedly, it's a call to stop negotiating your worth and start honoring it. That doesn't mean being harsh. It means being honest. If someone benefited from your silence, they will not celebrate your voice. And that's okay. Not everyone will clap when you choose yourself. But that doesn't mean you're wrong. That doesn't mean you're being difficult or ungrateful or too much. It just means you're no longer willing to be less for someone else's comfort. Energetically, this is a moment of reclamation. Your voice isn't just for defense. It's for declaration. It's for creation. It's for alignment. And you don't have to scream to be heard. The deepest shifts often come from the quietest truths. You can look someone in the eye, speak one sentence with clarity, and change the direction of your life. That's power. You're not here to be anyone's peacekeeper if it costs you your peace. You're not here to explain your intuition to people who benefit from your confusion. You're here to create new standards, not because you're angry, but because you're clear. And clarity is its own kind of kindness. When you're clear, you stop expecting people to read between your lines. You say what needs to be said. You rest without guilt. You walk away when your heart is done begging to stay. There's a strength in you now that doesn't need approval. That doesn't need consensus. That doesn't even need to be understood. It just needs to be honored. So let the old role fall away. Let the performance end. You've been cast as the background support for too long. But your truth is center stage now. Not because you're louder, but because you're finally listening to yourself. And that, Leo, is the kind of voice no one can take away again. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stand still, not because you're afraid, but because you finally know you don't have to fight for what's already yours. After everything you've carried, all the moments you bit your tongue to keep the peace, all the times you took the fall for things that weren't yours to own, it's not your job anymore to prove your truth. There's a shift happening now, and it isn't just emotional, it's energetic. And that shift is on your side. Think of it this way: there are forces in this universe that work quietly, with precision. They don't make noise, they don't demand attention, but they restore balance in ways human effort never could. That's the kind of force moving through your life now. You don't have to push. You don't have to explain. What's real will rise. What's false will fall apart on its own. In astrology, we often look to moments when divine justice unfolds not by external force, but through alignment. When the truth finally finds its voice, not because you shouted it, but because the energetic scales have shifted. And for you, Leo, this moment feels exactly like that. The pressure is lifting, but not because you finally fought hard enough. It's lifting because your energy no longer matches the space where lies once lived. You may feel it in subtle ways. Certain people start distancing themselves without explanation. Conversations fizzle, secrets spill without you asking. That isn't coincidence. It's resonance. When your vibration rises, anything that's not in harmony with you will naturally fall away. What used to feel like confusion is starting to feel like confirmation. What used to feel like betrayal is now just exposure. You're not losing people, you're losing illusions. That sword you've been holding, the one you thought you needed to defend yourself, it's not yours to carry anymore. It was never meant to be your burden. What's meant for you now is clarity, not conflict. Rest, not revenge. The energy of cosmic justice is not about punishing anyone. It's about restoring truth. Think of it like gravity, it doesn't need your effort to work. It just is. If we were to explore this moment through the lens of energetic protection, it would be like stepping into a field where only the real can breathe. You're being held in something bigger than logic right now. That's why the pressure is lifting and your clarity is sharpening. That's why you're remembering what peace feels like, even if it's only showing up in small, unexpected ways. Your role now isn't to shout louder. It's to stay rooted. To stay still when chaos tries to draw you back in. To listen when someone expects you to react. To respond only when it serves your growth. Because the truth no longer needs you to defend it, it's learning to walk on its own. This is when people start revealing who they really are, not because you asked, but because they can no longer hide. You'll see it in their contradictions, in the way their words no longer match their actions, in the way they react to your silence more than your speech. And that's the gift. Because when you stop over-explaining yourself, the truth finally has room to speak. So don't confuse stillness with passivity. Don't mistake calm for weakness. You're not bowing out. You're rising up, in the most sacred way possible. Be no longer feeding what drains you. And when you do that, the universe listens. It shifts. It steps in. Because it always responds to clarity. It always responds to truth. Stay with that truth, Leo. Let the noise pass. Let the dust settle. And when it does, you'll see you were never standing alone. You were simply standing in your power finally. There's something strangely beautiful about second chances, especially when they arrive not because you begged for them, but because you grew into them. You may have missed an opportunity in the past. Maybe it was taken from you. Maybe someone spoke behind your back. Maybe the moment passed before you could fully step into it. But now, something has shifted. The tower has fallen. The illusions have crumbled. And what's emerging in the debris is a doorway that was always meant for you, but this time, you're walking through it with both feet planted, fully awake. Energetically, this is a return, but not to the past. It's a return to self. To that version of you who no longer shrinks to make others comfortable. You don't have to prove your worth this time. You don't have to defend your light. The truth is, you never did. But now you know it in your bones. You've done the work. You've faced the silence. You've stood still in the storm. And what's here now is not a reward, it's a reflection of your alignment. Astrologically, this makes sense. The full moon is activating the Leo-Aquarius axis, a cosmic spotlight that pulls you out of the background and into visibility. And visibility doesn't always come with applause. Some people will look at your growth and feel threatened. Some will remember who you were and resist who you've become. But their discomfort isn't your responsibility. What matters is that you're showing up in your wholeness. Not edited. Not filtered. Not softened to fit someone else's expectations. This is your moment to reclaim space. In your relationships. In your work. In your home. That's why now is such a powerful time for physical cleansing, because the outer world mirrors the inner. Decluttering your environment isn't just about clean surfaces. It's about making room for what supports you. Burn incense or light a candle, not as ritual for ritual's sake, but as a way of signaling to your nervous system, I'm safe now. I'm ready for something new. Simplify what you consume. Your body is your first boundary. Choose foods that make you feel clear, not sluggish. Prioritize greens, fresh ingredients, hydration. Cut the sugar if you cannot because you should, but because you deserve to feel energized, not numbed. Move your body not to punish it, but to reconnect with it. A walk in sunlight. A few shoulder opening stretches. 10 minutes of deep breathing in the morning. These aren't chores. They're acts of devotion. And when the emotions rise, and they will, give them somewhere to go. Don't bottle them. Don't spiritualize them away. Just meet them with presence. Let them out through ink and paper. Journaling is powerful not because it's trendy, but because it gives your truth a container. You don't have to make it pretty. You don't have to make it productive. You just have to make it real. That's the theme of this phase for you, Leo, realness over performance. You are no longer performing your life. You are living it. You are no longer chasing opportunities. You are embodying the version of you that naturally attracts them. What was once delayed is now returning, but not because the timing was wrong before. Because you weren't meant to enter it from a place of confusion or compromise. Now, you're clear. Now, you're calm. Now, you're enough. And this time, when the door opens, you're not asking for permission to walk through. You're just walking in. Leo, if you've made it this far, I want to remind you of something you may have forgotten along the way. You no longer have to stay silent to be loved. The quiet strength you've held for so long, carrying burdens no one saw, holding in truths to keep the peace, dimming your light to protect someone else's comfort, that chapter is closing now. And what's coming isn't chaos. It's clarity. Everything you've walked through this investigation, the breakdowns within your family, the secrets rising to the surface, is not here to ruin your life. It's here to return you to yourself. This is sacred disruption. A cleansing. And more than anything, it's proof that the universe has heard what you could never say out loud. The people who once used your silence as a weapon will no longer be able to twist your light. The old roles you played, the fixer, the forgiver, the quiet one, are melting away. And you're not collapsing. You're evolving. Now is your time to write a new story, one that isn't based on surviving, but on choosing. You don't need validation to shine. You don't need permission to heal. You only need to decide that your truth matters more than anyone's comfort. So let me ask you, what's one thing you've held back from saying, simply because you were afraid it might push someone away? And if they walked, would that really be a loss or finally, a release? What would it feel like to stop negotiating with your worth, and instead stand in it? Because that's where you are now. Right at the edge of something real. You're not the same version of yourself who was betrayed, overlooked, or silenced. You are wiser. More centered. And this time, you don't need to roar. You just need to stand. Take a breath. Let the dust settle. And if your heart feels the truth of this moment, I invite you to declare it in the comments below with this simple affirmation. Leo, acknowledge the truth, cut ties with falsehood, and welcome divine justice with an open heart. Let that comment be more than just words, it's a declaration. A vibration. A message to the universe that you are ready for the life that was always meant for you. And if this message resonated with you, if you felt seen or understood in a way that you didn't expect today, I want to thank you for being here. Your presence fuels this space. Your energy is felt. Every like, every comment, every time you hit that subscribe button brings you deeper into the soul family we're building here at Eternal Mindfulness, a space where you're not just given forecasts, you're empowered to transform. So if you're ready for more guidance, more healing, and more reminders that your voice matters, make sure you stay connected. Because trust me, Leo, what's coming next? You'll want to be here for it.